Oh my God. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another fun episode of You and I Builder Live. I need to come up with a fun catchphrase for this show. So if you have any ideas, feel free to let us know in the chat. Today, I am joined by my usual co-host, Brad is back.
Hello, everybody. My name is Brad.
Hi, Brad.
It's been like a month and a half since I've been on the show. I forgot how to do things.
Honestly, me too. The show was starting and I was like, we never discussed who's going to talk first. So hi, I am Maria Gabriela, Ochoa Perez Vector of the Many Names. We are outbound product managers working on UI Builder, and we're here to show you how awesome it is. Now, this month is kind of weird. I know last month we didn't have Brad, and this month we're having our shows on different days. So I want to give you guys a heads up that our next show is not going to be next Thursday. It's going to be on Tuesday, the 28th. And it's going to be a surprise of a show. So be sure to tune in. It's going to also be at 4 p.m. But it is going to be on Tuesday, the 28th. We're not going to have a show next week for the holidays. Enjoy your holidays. And Brad, what are we doing today?
Yeah, so today we are going to build a data resource based on a script that I have that returns a bunch of data. We'll look at the script. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it does work, which is basically my entire career in terms of building things. Yeah, we'll do that script. We'll turn it into a data resource, and then we'll put it in UIB and kind of build out a page based on that data resource.
That sounds good to me. Where are we going to get started? Did you already write out your script?
I do have a script written. This was kind of last minute. I was already building this for an internal project that we have for doing some quizzing. So we're building out a quiz with questions and question choices. So we're going to start by just running this script and making sure it still works. So let's open up our background scripts here. And it's here. Oh, that's right. I don't have SNUtils on this instance or on this browser, which is a fail. This is my sharing browser. Oh, let's go in here. Actually, let's do this. Let's share this script just for those of you that care. I'll put it here and I'll zoom way in and we can walk through a little bit about what it's doing. So basically, we have a data model where we have a quiz table, we've got a quiz question table, and then we've got a question choice table. What we're doing is I'm doing some nested queries here. You're welcome. This is not the way you should write your scripts, probably. But because we have like a hard limit on the number of questions and choices, it's not going to kill us on performance. So this is basically what the script is doing. And at the end, we're going to get a big JSON object that's going to show us a quiz and the questions and the choices within the questions. So let's go ahead and run it. I do have some demo data, and we will see what the output is. All right. And then, I was going to come in and actually set orders for these, but no big deal. So we've got our quiz table where we have some quizzes, or we have this quiz, and it's not pulling the right sysid. Why are we getting null? Well, I thought this worked. Anyway, so we're going to get questions here. And then each question has some question choices. And eventually there will be a front end where people can come in and actually take this quiz. But right now we're working on the back end, building out the quiz. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with a data resource that pulls all of our data and builds out this quiz page. And then from there, I don't think we're going to get to that on the episode, but we're going to make it interactive where I can add new questions and question choices from the same page. Does this make sense?
Yes.
All right. So I did already start a page that we're calling Quiz Builder. So we're going to open up this page. I don't know if I put anything on this page yet.
I gotta say, that name is really great. Whoever came up with it is just a visionary.
The QuizNow name.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Whoever came up with a name and then created the instance. Yeah. All right. So I have a page. We've got a layout with some stuff on the left and a big thing in the middle. And so I think we're going to be building out most of the middle section. So we're going to create a new data resource. How do I do that? I hit create somewhere. Also, it's been a long time since I've created a data resource, so we're going to kind of do this together. All right, my first decision when I created data. Oh, go ahead.
Don't you have to be in a different scope, or is it okay to be in that application?
I think I'm in the QuizNow scope, right?
Oh, no, sorry. I meant like in the thing that you have selected on the left. Or is the new button independent of what's showing under data resources?
The new button is independent of this thing here that we're going to get rid of soon.
Awesome. But, sorry.
Safe harbor. Yes, we don't want you to have to worry about what application things are in because it's kind of ridiculous. So creating a new data resource, I've got different options here. Ideally, everybody uses GraphQL for most things. That is kind of our recommended way to do things. If I had had more time, I would have built out a GraphQL API that we could have then built out a GraphQL data resource instead of the script. And maybe I'll go back and do that later on. But we're going to use a transform data resource. I've got an article that kind of lists some best practices around data resources. The main reason why we want you to use GraphQL is because it has some built-in guardrails. So a transform data resource, you can do anything, and there's a lot of like bad practices you can implement through a transform data resource because it's just running straight code. And a GraphQL data resource will have some guardrails. And we're also working on optimizing our GraphQL performance and APIs every release. And so that will gradually get faster to where your transform data resource is kind of reliant on however you write it. So that's the main reason we recommend GraphQL, but we're going to do a transform. And so I'm gonna end up looking at some existing data resources because I don't quite remember how I need to structure everything. Well, let's start doing that because I don't even know where to start.
Does anybody know if there's a particular reason why they're called GraphQL? For the longest time, I actually thought that they would output like a graphical visual something.
I don't remember exactly. I know it's I think Facebook wrote GraphQL way back when as a more performant way to do things.
Oh.
If I am remembering correctly.
Having learned everything about coding that I know from working on ServiceNow, I often don't know what is and isn't a ServiceNow original thing.
That's fair, yeah.
Thank you guys in the chat.
Is there a data resource that have I built a transform? That might be good. Let's see. No, that worked, yeah. Look, people in the chat always have answers. It's wonderful.
It's fantastic.
Oh, there's some Now Assist stuff. I'm not going to open this. Let's go. I'm spending too much time trying to find the right one. Let's just click into some. I think this will work. All right, so my properties are basically just an array of objects. I do have an article I wrote that tells you how to build properties that maybe we'll look up because I don't remember. And then, okay, the function is just the function is just going to be, why can I not do that? Return, okay. All right. So we're going to take in a sysid, and then we are going to return a big object here. So let's call this, get quiz structure.
Earl,
So
I'm going to
important.
send you the link to Brad's article. If you could please put it in the chat. And Brad, I'll send it your way too.
Thanks. Which one? My properties
your
one?
Data resources?
Okay.
Yeah, it's got properties in there.
Oh yeah, it has a link in there.
Thank you, Earl.
Let's open it up.
I just love kind of the reality that we live in, where you are literally looking up your own article.
Yeah. And then I was going to call out this part. It is very important to check this checkbox if you are mutating data, which basically means you are creating or updating records or deleting records, and then leave it unchecked if you're querying records. If you're doing both in the same data resource, stop. You should not be doing both in the same data resource, because whether you check that box or not determines how eager this data resource is. So if you don't check the box, it's going to run all the time in lots of different scenarios. And if you're mutating data, you generally don't want that to happen. So have separate data resources for those types of things. All right, so all about data resources. Do I have a component? This is what I want.
That's your other article, yep.
All right, so I think we want a string here. Actually, we probably want a reference, so I can pick a quiz. So reference table, empty state behavior. All right. I kind of want to look at one. Oh, this is a reference here. I'm just going to copy this and we'll change it. So we are going to name this. Yeah, so I saw the comment about JSON fields. It's one of the things I love about the SNUtils browser plugin that I don't have on here. But yeah, eventually we want people to be able to do this within UI Builder eventually, but we are not there yet. So transform script, this is going to be quiz. Let's just call it quiz ID, and then this is going to be. I call this quiz.
So while Brad types all of this up, and I'm going to try to buy him some time here so he doesn't have to talk while he types, has anybody in the chat made your own data resource? Or did you just space instead of tab?
I don't think tabbing will work on a string field like this. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're right. Okay, I'll allow it. Sorry.
I do some weird old man things, but that's not one of them. Or maybe it is.
Ailey had a great point. Half the reason of writing articles is for your own future reference.
That's true.
100%. Unfortunately for me, that would require me to remember which articles I've written, which is kind of a blocker in that instance. But it's just been really funny to me learning ServiceNow for the past 6 years, seeing Brad, Earl, Andrew all on the community all the time, seeing Chuck on there. And now when I'm trying to find answers to anything, it's like, oh, this is literally my coworker. It's so weird.
I don't know if this is actually a property that we have, but we're going to try it. All right. And then we're going to go function input. And then we do get a script box out of that one.
It is a property.
Want this. Network. All right. We'll go like that. Did I actually mess something up or? There. Let's make that big. So I want to do this. What did we call that? Input quiz ID. We made it mandatory, so it should be there. We're just going to trust it because that's what you should do when developing.
And for those of you who may not have known this, like I didn't know this, according to Brad, the mechanisms for passing data into components to use the data are called properties, which is basically their inputs. So that's what Brad's putting up at the top, I assume. It's what the data resource is going to use as an input. Is that what the property's for?
Yep.
Awesome. I'm marking this article
exactly
helpful,
right.
like MeTube said.
Do I ever use this? I don't think I ever. I think that was an idea that I had that didn't work. All right. This may work.
Famous last words.
What is that squiggly? I don't care. All right. So let's save this. Oh, I do care, I guess. Okay.
Ident? What's an ident?
Oh, did I do the did I write this function incorrectly?
Oh, identifier.
Oh yeah. I gotta go transform. I didn't name it. See, I never write code anymore. There we go.
See, this is why we don't ignore red squigglies. Yellow squigglies we can ignore.
I mean, sometimes the red squigglies are wrong. Like what? It wants a semicolon. I'm not going to do it.
That one's yellow.
Oh, you're right. That is yellow. Colors are not my strongest.
I went to school for colors.
Now I need an access control. That's why my privileges are elevated. So when you create a new data resource, you have, or I think it's just a new transform data resource, you need an ACL, and it needs to be a UX data broker ACL to read it. And it's just the sysid. And I think that's all we need. Should I give it a, no, I don't think it needs a role. Let's hit submit and see if that works. So we'll know very quickly whether it works. UIB should now tell us that data resources were updated. It did not, which is nice. So we're going to refresh. And now we should be able to add this data resource to the page.
Yay, it worked.
Well, we'll see.
Well, I mean, it showed up, okay? We're winning.
Oh, ACL failed. Well, let's... Did it still fail? Yes. So I wrote a different article. Let's go developer blog, data resources. Oh, I should put ServiceNow in there. No, there it is. Create an ACO. Come on, write better blogs. So I did just create one. Do I need to give it a role, maybe? Well, let's see what the other ones look like. Oh, execute.
Oh, here you go. John wrote an article on this.
Yeah. It needs to be execute instead of read.
Oh.
That kind of makes sense. I'm going to save this and we'll refresh.
Yep. Operation execute.
There we go. We still get null for some things. Let's look at the script again and see what I did wrong. It's because I'm a moron. There we go. Order. I'm pretty sure I have an order field. That looks right. Oh. Control F does not work. There.
Have you tried Command F?
That is actually
sorry.
I just called Control. I don't need the order, but it bugs me that it's returning null.
I'll take a look into that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I added order to that table, but it's possible I didn't. Or maybe I misspelled it. That's also a possibility. All right, so now I want to build out what this looks like. And then eventually we are going to make it interactive, but I don't know if we'll get there on today's show. All right, so let's add a component within column 2. I like to add a container within the column. I think there's some stuff that it allows me to do that I can't do otherwise. So I think we want to how do I want to do this? Let's add a stylized. We're gonna add a stylized text. I should have thought harder about how I want this to look.
Would you want your order field to just be a string?
I would want it to be an integer.
Integer, got it. It totally already exists. I'm just reminding the system that it exists.
Thank you. You know what? I kind of want the title of the quiz to be above this column layout. So we're going to add a single column above. And then I'm going to move this up there. And then can I do that? I can't do that. Sweet. And then can I give it a background? We didn't theme this instance. Do you know if I can theme an instance? Is that possible?
I don't know. I think I've heard of this new product called Brand Manager.
The deep cut. All right. So we're going to say this is just going to be the name of the quiz, which we're going to access by data. Get quiz structure output quiz fields name. I think it's going to work. Maybe. Why is it not? If I save. Hey, there we go. I don't know why that didn't update right away. I don't love that it didn't. Are you making a theme right now?
No, that would be smart.
Okay.
Let's do this.
No, you don't need to. I was just wondering.
I did get the order field in, so hopefully it doesn't show null now.
All right, so we've got the quiz title. We're cooking with fire now. And then what what do we want to do from here? We have the title. What else do we have in here? We've got the ID. We're not going to display that. We have the owner. We're not going to worry about that right now. So let's just go straight to the questions. Now we get to play with repeaters.
Oh, my bad. I made it on the quiz table, but was that the quiz instance table?
No, so there's 3 tables we're working with now. It's quiz question, and quiz question choice. There's kind of 2 paths that the tables follow. So the quiz question table, I think, is what needed an order field.
Got
or
it.
already has one. It already has an order field.
Yes, it does already have one.
All right. So let's go ahead and put our repeater together. You may be wondering why the little number doesn't show up anymore. It's kind of a long story, but it is not there with repeaters anymore and may not be for a while because of some underlying issues. So I'm just going to trust that it's right. And then within the repeater, I'm going to add a container, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to add a container. Guess I could add a column layout. It's the same thing, basically. Let's give it a border.
Oh, okay. The problem wasn't that the field was missing, is that you don't have any data in there.
Oh, that's fair.
I was like, the field actually exists. What's going on here?
I thought it existed. No, I don't want to show. Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, no. The color. What was the color originally? Just want it to be a nice gray. All right. And so within here, we're going to add some of my question. So let's add a stylized text. We don't want a preset. And I'm in a repeater, so I can go at item dot value dot question. There we go. I don't think I want to center that. Yeah, I'm going to add some padding here. And then under the stylized text, we're going to do another layout. I think I want a grid, actually. And it's going to be 2 rows and 2 columns. Yeah. And then within the grid, we're going to add another repeater, and we're going to add the questions. Item.value dot question choices. We're going to add the choices. I guess we'll keep going stylized text here. I will probably change out these components at some point, but for now, let's do this just to make our data work. And then we're going to go item.value dot choice. I don't know. Let's see how this looks. Why can I not preview this? Oh, I didn't pass it a quiz ID. That is important. What's the little ID I had? There we go. Now we get a preview. Oh, and then let's do this. Just to make everything. I have a question while we're here. So we have all this data binding. This is a feedback question for everybody. We've got this data binding. So I hit @ and then we've got some different, why is it only showing me? We've got context, we've got app, we've got all sorts of things. Does everyone generally know what these things apply to? Why? So we've got app, props, session. So context.props, I believe, gives me, I don't know why I've got this weird, gives me all these page properties that includes my quiz ID.
Oh.
And so that works.
See, I'm glad that this is a feedback question from the people in the chat, because also I'd say, if you don't know the answer, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I mostly know the answer, but I'm in UI Builder a lot, or I have been in the past. And so I think it's an area where we could provide more feedback and an explanation on what what app refers to, what props refers to, what item refers to when you're in a repeater.
So basically, in the chat, on a scale from 1 to 10, how easy is it for you to know what properties are available to you and how to get to them?
All right.
Oh, cool. We got our quiz questions.
It does work. It is incredibly ugly looking, but it does work. So again, this is the question part. So we're going to have to make all this interactive. What we're going to end up doing on the left here is some controls and buttons to add new questions and new choices. So maybe we actually want these to show up as inputs instead of answers, since they're editable.
As inputs?
Yeah, because this is the page where you're building a quiz.
Oh, this is a page where we're building them. Yeah. Okay, yes.
Why are we? Oh, that's just the preview. So let's change that out for inputs here. Let's see how easy that is to do. And then we would make the value. That's not going to work. This is going to be so complicated. Yeah, so this is not taking the quiz. This is the page where we're building the quiz. Because there are so many tables involved, I wanted to be able to do it all on one page instead of having to, I kind of hate related lists and having to create a record and then add related list items and then go back and create another record and add related. It drives me nuts. So I want it to be able to do it all from the same page. But I haven't thought this far ahead in terms of architecting what this page looks like. So maybe we'll start with being able to edit it, but then I'm going to need a bunch of client state parameters to hold each of the values.
Oh, what if you make each quiz question editable one at a time? That way we only have 5 sets of client state parameters.
That is a good idea. And then I think I'm going to end up with a JSON client state parameter that holds everything. But yeah, so we still have a little while, so we can do some of this. Let's do this. Let's start by making the title editable. Ooh, let's do it like this here. Let's add a little pencil icon, and then if you click it, it makes the title go away and you get an input box. How does that sound? So I think we want an icon button iconic. And then I want it to be next to it. So let's go like that. But I still want it to be centered. There we go. And then my button iconic, let's go. I'm sure we have a pencil, right? Yes. Pencil fill. I think I want it to be bare. I want it to be bigger than that. And then how's the spacing look there? That doesn't look bad. And then, so let's have a client state parameter. Oh, we're going to end up with so many of these. But let's go title and editable. This has got to be the worst. I'll come back and think about this, and it'll be, I'll have a better name for it, or it'll never change. One of the two. So we'll start that with a false, and then we'll come in and we will set the visibility on this one to hide component. And this is going to be, we're going to hide component state. All right.
It would be so nice if this was kind of like Flow Designer and I had all those things available to me as data pills, so I wouldn't have to keep retyping them.
Yes. Yes. If it was like, if the data binding was all visual, that would be really nice instead of having to type it all out. So let's add an input. I think we want that to be large. There's not a large. That's cool. And then for this one, we'll wait to hide it. Wait, where did it go? Input, we want the value. I think we can just bind the value to the, let's do that. We're going to bind the value to the data resource, except I have to switch. Dot, no. No, I'm not in a, oh, we're all over the place today. Here we go.
Today.
Name. And then let's just save and preview that. What does that look like? I don't want that label there, and then that'll go away. I think this will be okay. So how do I get rid of the label? Does it go away if I get rid of it? Yeah, there we go. I think that's good. And then now we need to make, we need to set the visibility. And then we need to make the pencil button do something. Visibility is state. Do I have to do this? All right. And wait, oh, okay. So I didn't need the parens. And then we want to make the button control that. So let's go add event handler on button click and then update client state parameter. We only have the one. And then if I click it, I think, can we do this? Yeah, I think we can do this. I think that'll work.
Oh, so you can just toggle it like that?
Well, we're going to see.
That would be kind of cool.
Hey, it does work.
Wow. I legit thought we were about to add 2 events to that.
All right. So we have some time. We could make this actually work. Let's do that. I'm going to save. All right, so we're going to, I'm going to need like a save button too, huh? No. We'll do it on the toggle. Let's do that. All right, so let's go update. No, I can't do it on the toggle. It's all right.
You guys want to know what's great is that I have been trying to get the calendar component to work, and I have a submit button that I haven't been able to figure out how to fix. So Brad is about to lay it out for me real nice, so I don't have to do too much Googling.
We'll see. We'll see.
No pressure, Brad.
Yeah. So how do we want to do this? Actually, let's just run the update whenever I click out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's probably a bad way to do it.
It's an awful way of doing it. But
right.
For demonstration purposes, it'll at least get me started.
The other option would be when I click the toggle, the button goes away and I get a save button instead, like a save and cancel. But that seems like a lot of work for right now.
Why don't we just do one solid save button for the entire form, and it just submits all the client state parameters?
Well, I mean, that's ultimately, yes, that's what we'll want to do, I think. You're right. All right, let's put a save button over here. You have bullied me into it.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I thought you meant that on a per individual label level, we would have a save and a cancel button. My bad.
Well, that is kind of what I was talking about, and it's wrong. So yeah, let's do it your way. I'm going to put it here. Just, I don't like putting it on the left, but that's where we're going to put it for now.
See, John, it would be so funny for like April Fools to do a what not to do episode, but I am so scared that someone will come in and for some language barrier, some neurodivergence barrier or something, not understand that we're being sarcastic and then just run with it.
That probably should be a primary, huh? Save, and let's give it a save icon. All right. Oh, now I need a client state parameter. I'll hold the value though. Let's say.
I'm scared of saying things that I want now for fear of you laughing at me again.
Sorry.
Wouldn't it be cool to have like folders to put your client state parameters into?
Organizing client state parameters would be nice. You are right. So initially this should be data. I'm not click the thing. No, I didn't. Oh, come on, autocomplete for me. I don't remember the name. Why? Why are you not auto-completing? That bothers me. But I can find the same thing.
Oh.
All right, and so what we want to do is when I set a value, so it's what on blur is what this basically is. I want to update that client state parameter. The new value is going to be payload dot value dot. That's it. Okay. All right, and then on save, we want to execute. So this is not how the entire structure will be. We'll probably need a big JSON object that holds the actual data, and then every time you save, it'll send the entire JSON object and save it. What the? All right, I'm about to have some dogs barking, I think. I apologize. Oh, could you hear that? That was right.
Just slightly.
So the table we want is this one.
They're no construction, that's for sure.
The record we want to update, we have, it is part of the page props. And then we are going to update a specific value here. This isn't how we will do it eventually, but this is going to be the state. Quiz title. And then after that, I want to refresh this one just to make sure that all of our data is correct. All right, so let's test that. All right, so Brad's quiz. All right, so now, so I didn't update that yet.
Oh, but it kept it.
We save. And then do this. It should update it. There we go. So let's try, let's change it back. And then save. And then there it goes. So that did work. This is a really terrible user experience. So this is not shippable. I think I kind of, I don't know.
So
it's all going to change once we build everything else out. But
is the issue that the actual component isn't getting updated when the client state parameter gets updated, or are we not looking at the same data?
Yeah, so this is not, so here's what would fix this. We have some time. So instead of binding this directly to the data, what we probably should do is say state.quizTitle.
Right, yeah. Oh, we were looking at the data before. Okay.
Yeah, we were pulling it from the data resource. So
that makes sense.
That. So now if I say
gasp.
What happened? I wonder if we have a cache issue. Well, that's even worse.
And with that, I think it's a great time to end today's show.
No, something's wrong. Something's wrong with this. I bet if we do Brad's quiz, no. Brad's great quiz.
Whoa.
The initial value isn't working.
Oh.
Remember how it didn't autocomplete? Something's going on here.
That one won't work. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I knew it. Well, here we go. Why is it? All right. So we're in data binding. I want, it's been a while. I wonder if you shouldn't update a client state, if you shouldn't bind directly to a client state parameter on load. That could be it. All right, we have some time. Let's do this a different way. So get quiz structure. Let's see if we can do on succeed. Can we do it there? Where we go, quiz title. I wouldn't want to do this with all of them, but I can't do that directly from here. I think I am stuck on this one.
So Ailey says that she did this recently and had to have an event handler on the data resource so that once it was fetched successfully, it updated the client state parameter.
That's what I was going to do. But it didn't autocomplete, which led me to believe it wasn't going to work. But let's try it. We're still there. So I don't have the data object here.
Well, the data object just doesn't seem to want to show up.
And I
maybe refresh the UI Builder page itself, or you can copy it right there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna, oh, you do this.
That
yeah.
I love that copy button.
So we want output quiz field's name.
Ailey says she had to use a script.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know if there's like race conditions or data. Let's try this first and then it didn't copy. Great. Oh, and I still don't have the other one. All right. I'm mad at it. I'm not going to do this. So, I mean, ultimately, we probably are not going to end up doing it this way anyway. I need to think through how I want it to end up working in the long run. But let's go ahead and put this back how it was, because it was sort of working before. Why? I don't have access to data anywhere.
Yeah, you haven't had access to data this whole time.
Well, when I originally did this, it worked. All right. Let's do a refresh. I haven't saved in a while. Maybe we still have stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I could have used that undo button that came in Vancouver, but it's too late for that now. Once we get this built, we will share the final app and everything. So, and you'll find out how we eventually try to solve this problem.
And who knows, it might show back up on a later episode too.
Yeah. See, now it's there.
There we go.
Something was going on.
I knew it.
Sorry, can I find it here? I wonder if this is a bug or if this is by design. Okay. So I think that still works, but I think we're at a good stopping point. We built a data resource. We did some random stuff and created kind of an ugly page. And yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for walking us through that. Had I tried, we would have still been on the label part. So everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget that we're not going to be here next Thursday because it's Turkey Day for the Americans. We are going to come back on November 28th. So be sure to tune in for a special episode that we will do. I don't know what we're covering yet. We'll figure it out. But thank you so much, Brad. Any closing statements?
I don't think so. Yeah, we'll have 2 more of these this year. So we'll have the one at the end of November, and then we will do one in December, that topic TBD. And then we'll be back 14th. In January after that. But yeah, we're already almost at the end of the year, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, it's wild. I am about to hit a year and it doesn't feel real, but thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday and have a lovely day. Goodbye.
Thanks, everybody.